body. Take a moment for your mind. Take a moment for your spirit. Take a moment to be well. Take a moment to be healthy. Take a moment when you pray. Take a moment for worship. Take a moment every day. Take a moment for your body. Take a moment for your mind. Take a moment for your spirit. Take a moment to be well. Take a moment to be happy. Take a moment when you pray. Take a moment for worship. Take a moment to show you care. Take a moment to show you care. Just to show how much you care. Yeah.
Good evening and welcome to Healing Moments, the program designed with you in mind. Now, those of you on YouTube, if you haven't yet, we would like you to subscribe and hit the like button so that when we come on, you will be informed and you can join us. Thank you so much once again for joining us this evening on Healing Moments. But before we go any further, let's all bow our heads for a word of prayer with Elder Ken Reeves. Amen. Thank you, Elder. Now, I have a little poem called Life's Daily Doses. And it goes as follows. Life is measured in daily doses of trials and pleasures each. Day by day, grace is dispensed to meet our immediate needs. Comfort comes to the weary. We find that which we seek. A bridge is built at the river, and power is given to the weak. One day's load we have to bear as we travel on life's way. Wisdom is given for the occasion and strength to equal each day. We are never required to stagger under tomorrow's heavy load. We journey one day at a time as we travel life's rugged road. God's mercy is new every morning and his faithfulness is sure. God perfects all that concerns us, and by faith we will endure. Our topic this evening is adversity quotient, and we do have a recap of this month's program for you. But before we go any further, let's get the recap from Sister Sherry Sobers.
Good evening, everyone. And allow me to say to you, Kathy, welcome back. Good to have you with us. It's good always to have you and Lori with us. And as we go through our recap, my recap this evening will be quite short because I don't want to give away too much for the quiz that we're going to have later down. So yes, in life, we have things that come our way, waves that threaten to pull us from, pull the carpet from under us. We have adversities that hit us with our finances, with our health, with our marital problems, with our children, our education. They come left, right, up, and down. What we spoke about this month was not so much the fact that we have adversities, because in life we know that we all will have a measure of stress. That is just the reality. But the phrase AQ, or adversity quotient, measures how we are able to withstand. It shows us that unconscious pattern of how we deal with these adversities. And it helps us to see whether we need help in terms of balancing how we respond to them, or whether we're doing okay in terms of our response. So we would have known about IQ. Yes, IQ tests our ability to recall and comprehend. We would know about EQ, emotional, the amount of how we are able to balance and deal with our emotions. We would have also learned of social quotient, how charismatic or not we are. And this month, we would have learned about AQ. Now, I hope that you were taking notes, because as we go through this evening's program, we'll see how well you were listening. So as I said before, AQ determines how well we are able to manage when these rough patches come. Whether we are able to come out on the other side without losing our mind and keeping ourselves stable, that's the measure of how we are able to do all of those things. It helps us to also see how resilient we are. You know, it's really the science of resilience. It was developed by a very prominent professor, a very prominent doctor. And within EQ, within AQ, he also developed some acronyms. I gave you 2 acronyms. I'm only going to give you one of them today, CORE, CORE. And last week, we spoke a lot about that. The C, the O, the R, the L, the R, the E, they all relate to different dimensions within EQ. I'll speak about the C and the O, but not the R or the E. You'll understand why. So the C relates to how well we're able to control everything that's going on around us. The O relates to how well we're able to own what is going on around us as well. The R and the E, we'll talk about that, or you'll tell me how much you remember about that as we continue with our program. AQ determines how well we allow the adversities in our life to affect our families or things around us. Last week, we spoke a lot about work. But then the other thing is that our lives are not just made up of work. So how much those things that happen in work are able to influence our home, our church, and the like. Remember, it is all about our patterns of thinking, our pattern of thought. So my encouragement to us today and onward is to really be introspective as we look at and as we examine our response to the adversities and stressors that come our way, how we deal with them. Look at how we deal with them. Be honest with ourselves. Ask ourselves, is this a positive response? We talked a lot about positive mental attitude in our previous month. Is it a positive response? Or do I need to do something about my response? Do I need to improve? Do I need help in improving that? And I pray that as we continue in month after month, as we continue looking at other ways in which we are able to look at our emotional health, other ways in which we can grow and develop emotionally, psychologically, that we are able to use everything that we learn and bit by bit develop and grow into the kind of person that God wants us to be. Thank you so much. And I pray that as we continue this evening, that you will gain a blessing from what is said and done. Have a good evening, everyone.
Thank you so much, Sherry. I
You're
pray
welcome.
the same thing as well, that it will be a blessing not only to us, but to each and every one listening. Again, those of you who are on YouTube, we're asking, if you haven't yet, may you subscribe and hit that like button, that when we come on, you will be informed and you will be able to tune in as well. We've learned how to deal with and respond to adversity, as Sister Sherry was saying in her recap, and how we manage and how resilient we are. We are also talking about how we allow things to influence us as well this month on Adversity Quotient. Now, when we come back, we will have Dr. Dupree, who will give us her recap for the month. Mm-hmm.
Take a moment for your body. Take a moment for your mind. Take a moment for your spirit. Take a moment to be well. Take a moment to be healthy. Take a moment when you pray. Take a moment for worship. Take a moment every day. Take a moment for your body. Take a moment for your mind. Take a moment for your spirit. Take a moment to be well. Take a moment to be happy. Take a moment when you pray. Take a moment for worship. Take a moment to show you care. Take a moment to show you care. Just to show how much you care. Yeah.
In 2015, around this time of the year, I was in Hollywood. Yes, I was in Hollywood, California. I spent 3 months and 3 days in Hollywood, California. I walked on Hollywood Boulevard. I saw all the stars. But the most amazing and memorable thing about my time spent in Hollywood was the time I spent at the Children's Hospital in LA. One of the things I can never forget that I found out was happening was that they were transplanting poop, feces, from one child to another child. And I wondered why. And you may wonder why. Why would somebody take feces, poop, from one person and put it into another person's gut? I'm sure you know about heart transplants and liver transplants and kidney transplants, but poop is not even an organ. What could be the possible benefits of transplanting? So here it goes. If you were with us earlier in the year, you would have heard me talk about the gut microbiome, gut organisms. You'd have heard me talk about the gut being a second brain and the importance of having certain types of bacteria in the gut. And while the research is still going on at a rapid clip, scientists who are investigating what is called the gut-brain axis are finding out that the contents of the gut, and not talking about necessarily the food in your gut at a particular time, but the microorganisms, especially the bacteria, the bacterial population in your gut is very important. And not just the number of bacteria, but the types of bacteria. As you know, or you may not know, there are many species of bacteria, just as there are species of animals and subspecies of cats and dogs. There are multiple species of bacteria. And so the combination of species of bacteria, the overwhelming of one population by another, the extinction of one population of bacteria by another, is very, very important for not only gut health, but for brain health. You know, when we deal with mental problems or mental issues like adversity quotient, how you handle adversity, when we talk about depression, when we talk about anxiety, we're talking about brain issues. And the gut and brain are in constant communication. I remind you that I mentioned at one point, people talk about going with your gut, having butterflies in your stomach. Some people actually have to make surreptitious trips to the bathroom just before they go on a plane or before they write an exam. So there is that link. There is the vagus nerve that links the brain to the gut and helps to control what is going on in the gut. But surprisingly, what's going on in the gut can also affect what's going on in the brain. So scientists are finding that particular types of diet, people who feed on particular types of diet, are more resilient, much more able to resist adversity or to respond properly to adversity, to be less stressed than others who have other types of diets. Right, so we are also finding that there are certain bacteria that produce high levels of tryptophan. And I don't know if you remember that tryptophan is a precursor of serotonin. And serotonin is responsible for a happy mood. It's called the happy hormone or happy neurotransmitter. So it comes down to everything you do in life is actually helping you to manage what life throws at you. And we always begin with nutrition. That's always where we start. We start eating is basically what keeps us breathing and our heart beating, because if we have no energy, we won't be able to carry out any of life's processes. So again, food is very important, and choosing what we eat. And do I have to repeat that we must eat fresh fruits and vegetables? We should eat our nuts and seeds instead of foods that are high in animal fat, red meat, processed foods. All of those, amazingly, or maybe not surprisingly, can help you to manage life's stresses. So if we can begin by disciplining ourselves to manage what we eat, in response, we will have the right number and ratio, proportions of bacteria in our guts that will produce the right precursor hormones that will help to make us resilient, because we're finding out that more of our hormones, more of our serotonin is made in the gut than is actually made in the brain. So to keep ourselves healthy, let's remember to eat right. There is no getting away from that. We can't say it too many times. And if you get tired of hearing us saying it, then you just need to start saying it to yourself. The quiz is coming up. I haven't given you any reminders of anything that I said over the preceding 3 weeks, so you're on your own. But I'm open for questions and answers at the end of the quiz.
I like that, Dr. Dupree. You haven't given any answers. So let's see how you do in the quiz coming up, as Dr. Dupree was saying. Thank you so much, Dr. Dupree, for that informative little session that you give. Who would have thought it's so strange to transplant poop? Your words, not mine, into someone else's gut. It's strange. Let's take a break here once again, but stay with us as we take this break. And when we come back, let's see how well you do.
Take a moment for your body. Take a moment for your mind. Take a moment for your spirit. Take a moment to be loved. Take a moment to be healthy. Take a moment when you pray. Take a moment for worship. Take a moment every day. Take a moment for your body. Take a moment for your mind. Take a moment for your spirit. Take a moment to be well. Take a moment to be happy. Take a moment when you pray. Take a moment for worship. Take a moment to show you care. Take a moment to show you care. Just to show how much you care. Yeah.
Thank you for staying with us. Those of you now joining us on YouTube and on Zoom, a warm welcome is extended to you. And for those of you who hasn't yet subscribed or hit the like button, we are encouraging you to do that. Now, this is the time that I like, the Kahoot time. I love Kahoot, and I'm hoping that you do too. And remember, these questions are based on the past month's program. So let's see how well you do as Dr. Desiree Bogle presents our Kahoot.
All right. Good evening, everyone. I hope I'm being heard very clearly. I'm going to share my screen and you're going to be able to start with the Kahoot. You've been studying, you've been revising, you've been trying to remember everything because not all the answers were given. So we've got the code there. You can either scan, you can join online, you can use the app. I'm waiting for the players. Waiting on the players. A little music as we wait. Our pin 306-6245. Or you can scan the code that's there. I see star in, waiting on others. We're at www.kahoot.it. We've got brand and star. Come along, the others. Join in the fun. We've got beach, brand, and star. Any sun in there? All right, the others, we're waiting. Just a few more moments. Our pin is 306-6245. Not sure how many of you will join us, but I'll wait a little more. You've got 3 players, beach, brand, and star. Where are the others? We've got sun indeed. Any other element? Let's do fire. Let's do earth. Let's do some other things. Any organs? The heart. Come on, anybody else? We've got 4, sun, beach, brand, star, our code, our pin 306-6245. You go to kahoot.it, or if you have installed the Kahoot app, or scan what you see on your screen. 4, are we starting with 4? All right, let us go. The others can join. Oh, I see Cupid. All right, maybe a little more patience. 5. Or time is going. Any more elements? We've got Okolo. All right, great. Okolo, Cupid, Sun, Beach, Brand, Star. Let's start. And the others can join us. So we are doing the recap for the month of March, and let's go. So our question is there based on what we have been discussing. What does IQ stand for? We've got red, adverse quotient, blue, adventure quotient, yellow, adversity quotient, and green, adversity quotient. Okay, let's see what's going on between the others. Nothing yet. All right, let's continue. AQ. What is it? Red, measure of your comprehension ability. Blue, measure of your ability to build a network of friends. Yellow, measure of a person's ability to deal with adversities in his or her life. Measure of your ability to maintain peace. All right, we've got 4. What does the scoreboard look like? We've got star at the top. Let's go. All right. Question is there. Choose your color. Time is going. Red, blue, yellow, green. Count down. Five answers came in and 3 were right. Let's look at our scoreboard. Movements. That's good. Let's continue. All right. Movements on our scoreboard. And the next question is coming up, number 5 of 12. For countdown. And how many are getting that one right? All right, only 2. We'll get there for the others. What does our scoreboard look like? Some more movements. Halfway, halfway, halfway. True or false? Come on, we know you can get this one. Super easy. Super easy. And count down and the answers are in and we can. You're gonna see that you got it right. I'm seeing, yay, ooh la la, just one person, but we will continue. Our scoreboard, a little movement, and we continue. We've got 4 organs. Which one is the largest? Brain, red, heart, blue, liver, yellow, skin, green. Which is the largest in the immune system? Answers are in, let's see. All right, most persons got that right. And our scoreboard, a little more movement. Let's continue. Next question, the body responds to extreme cold by goosebumps for red, shivering for blue, sweating for yellow, goosebumps and shivering for green. What say ye? All right, let's see as the countdown goes. How many got it right? Half of you. All right, not too bad. A little more movement, the scoreboard, and we continue to question number 9. The sensation of feeling ants crawling on the skin during stressful conditions is known as red, formication, that's an M. Blue, fornication, that's with an N. Yellow, frustration. And green, fumigation. Red, formication. Blue, fornication, yellow frustration, and most persons got it. I'll try and read faster. And our scoreboard, no movement. That's interesting. Question 10, let's go. A smile causes the release of which of the following neurotransmitter hormones? Red, dopamine, blue, endorphins, yellow, serotonin, green, all of the above. Red, dopamine, blue, endorphins, yellow, serotonin, green, all. All right, not quite, but some movement on the scoreboard. And this is your opportunity almost to get everything right. The increase in cell size resulting from increased demand. Is it A, red, atrophy, blue, dystrophy, yellow, hypertrophy, green, none? Let's see. It shall be hypertrophy. And this is where everybody will get it correct, as our scoreboard does a bit of movement. True or false? Come on, the topic for the month of March was adversity quotient. Blue for true and red for false. Let's see, 10 seconds for that. You didn't need all that time. Oh, one person didn't quite get it right, but let's see what our podium. In third, fire. In second, star. And in first place, we've got brand. And our runners up would be beach and Cupid. Thank you all for playing. And we know that you'll pay attention next month and you will be back to play some more Kahoot. Thank you.
Oh my, I had so much fun playing Kahoot. Thank you so much for playing with us. Oh, I had a ball. For those of you now joining us, you don't know what you just missed. But for those of you who hasn't already liked and subscribed to our channel, please do that now. There's a little button there. You do that. You go ahead and do that right now. We want to say thank you so much to Dr. Desiree Bogle for our Kahoot session. Are you doing? Okay. We will now go in. Okay, we will now have a short question and answer segment. If you have any questions. I can't see you, Julian. Remember, the topic for this month was adversity quotient. And then? Okay. We want to thank you so much for joining us on Healing Moments, and thank you, Sister Sherry, for welcoming me back. It is good to be back home on Healing Moments once again. I did miss you guys and seeing all of you. So thank you so much. For those of you who joined us, we thank you for joining us here on Healing Moments, and we look forward to seeing you again next Thursday at 6:30 p.m. when we bring to you not adversity quotient again, but we bring to you our health segment, we bring to you our devotional segment. So join us again next Thursday on Healing Moments. Until then, have a healing moment, guys.
Take a moment for your body. Take a moment for your mind. Take a moment for your spirit. Take a moment to be well. Take a moment to be healthy. Take a moment when you pray. Take a moment for worship. Take a moment every day. Take a moment for your body. Take a moment for your mind. Take a moment for your spirit. Take a moment to be well. Take a moment to be happy. Take a moment when you pray. Take a moment for worship. Take a moment to show you care. Take a moment to show you care. Just to show how much you care.